Hello, everyone. Welcome to the latest edition of the Sunny Coast's very own podcast called the Referral Wave, Riding the Tide of Success. My name's Tony Cross, and by day I've got a car business called Drive Connect, where we broker cars and do all sorts of things. But today I'm joined by Ian Harrison from Aus Living Support, and we're going to talk all things about Ian. So welcome along, mate. Good to have you on.
Thank you, Tony. Thanks for letting me be on. That's great.
No worries at all. So we were just talking off air, and we'll get to that in a little bit. But first off, just tell us about Aus Living Support and what you do there as a charity.
Sure. Aus Living Support is a local charity formed by four local people. My beautiful wife and I are two of the directors, and there's another two directors as well. We started the organisation utilising, we were retired and we started it with our own retirement funds.
Yep.
So we decided that there was an opportunity for us to help people that are struggling on the Sunshine Coast, specifically domestic violence survivors, vulnerable children, and struggling families. And we saw opportunities for us to make a positive impact in that site to make sure that those people don't become homeless. And that's what we've done for 7 years now. We have kind of flown under the radar a little bit because we didn't want to get inundated with people looking for help because we're self-funded. We don't get government funding. So all of our funding comes from the generosity of Sunshine Coasters and benefactors. So we've flown under the radar for the reason we couldn't accept too many more. But we've decided now that we're getting so many requests for help, it's time for us to step outside of that cocoon and look for help elsewhere.
Yeah, right. So how many people do you help at the moment, or like with housing? What's your current status there?
Yeah, so every few months we're helping roughly 200 applicants come through our stores through our various programs. The housing side of it, we're probably at the moment down to about 72 a month local people, which is a lot. Um,
Mm.
how our program works is our Stay Safe program is our main thrust. And how that works is we realized if somebody becomes homeless, there's not a lot for them once they become homeless. There's not a lot of houses available. There's not a lot of help. Quite often with homelessness comes bankruptcy. So they not only end up with a black mark because they've been kicked out of a tenancy because they couldn't pay it, but they end up with bankruptcy, which is a black mark for the rest of their, well, for 7 years at least. So it
Yeah.
made it very difficult for them to step back into any kind of market. So our Stay Safe program identifies people at risk of homelessness through no fault of their own. It could be a death, injury, loss of work, whatever it may be, but it can't be a fault of their own. And we step in and try and stabilise them in their current existing house, stable,
Mm.
and allow them to get their life back on track. So we stop them from becoming homeless. That's our main thrust. We're not necessarily helping the homeless as such. We're stopping people from becoming homeless. What that does, the on-flow effect of that is, it takes that pressure off all those other services that are trying to help the homeless too.
Yeah, it's that's a great way. That's a great way to do it, isn't it? Sort of get in and help them before it becomes a bigger issue. Because as you say, once you hit the streets and the bankruptcy, the whole thing, well, then you're sort of at that point of no return. It's really hard
Yeah.
to help, right? But if your group can stave off, head that off at the pass, that's a fantastic idea, and it doesn't disrupt them either, right? And obviously gives them a feeling of comfort that someone does have their back and allows them to get on their feet, get back into the workforce, or do whatever they need to do to get back on track, right?
Let me give you an interesting statistic from us for over the 7 years. When we step in to help somebody, we asked over the first year, we asked people to give us feedback of how that helped. And they said the overwhelming pressure that they felt was they were going to lose the roof over their head and their children and them would have to live in a car or a caravan. That was the overwhelming stress. And they couldn't think of anything else. They said once Aus Living Support stepped in and stopped that from happening, they could just relax, breathe, and then look at all the other issues. And here's the interesting fact. Out of all the people we helped, the average takes 6 weeks to get their life back on track.
Yeah.
6 weeks as opposed to years of trying to get their life back together because they went homeless. 6 weeks. Isn't that amazing? That's the
That's an
difference. That's the
incredible
difference we're
number.
making. Hmm.
6 weeks, like, and say if it did end up in the bankruptcy route, as you say, it's like 7 years, whatever. So
Of course.
yeah,
And if you get a black mark on the rental market, what are you
yeah.
going to do?
And the problem is the rental market's so tough at the moment
It is.
that any mark on your name is horrendous, let alone being evicted because you couldn't pay your rent. Like
Yeah.
it's nearly put you in the no-go zone forever, right?
For sure, yeah. So we know our
Yeah.
programs work. We have other programs where we help vulnerable children with uniforms and things like that. And they normally come side by side with the victim, the clients that we're helping in the domestic side of things with our housing. So they kind of come as a group. And the other thing is we have material aid through our op shops. We have 2 op shops, one at Maroochydore, one at Nambour. The material aid is designed for those that are already homeless or at risk of becoming homeless. They can come in and get items for free. So that's our main 3 thrust of programs. We don't deviate from that. That's our specific program. We do it well, and we've done it for 7 years, and it's been successful. So we stay on that track.
Yeah, right. That's fantastic. All right, we can talk about that all day. We're going to have to do some follow-up. I'm going to have to do some follow-up podcasts here.
All right. We've got to do a podcast. That's right. We're doing a podcast. I remember now.
Yeah, we'll do some follow-ups. We'll have to do some follow-ons. I got a million questions, and we'll be here for 3 hours.
Yep.
Let's talk about what led you to join BNI.
Yeah, so as I said to you off air, I know Les Welsh from Carpet Cool, and he's deeply embedded in the BNI system for many years, apparently. He said to me one day, "Would you like to come and have a look at BNI?" And I'll be brutally honest with you, I've been in business most of my life, and I absolutely had never heard of it. And isn't that a shocking thing? Nobody's ever mentioned it before. He said, "Come on down." And I said, "Well, what am I going to offer? I'm a charity. Like they're looking for referrals and business and all." He said, "Just come down and have a look. It's not all about that. Come and have a look." So I went to my first meeting and I was absolutely blown away by the experience. The people were lovely. The atmosphere was amazing. The camaraderie was brilliant. When I saw them all stand up and said, "I've given you this referral this week," and blah, blah, blah. And again, I stood up and I introduced myself and I said, "Look, I'm going to apologize. I don't know what I'm going to bring to this group. I don't know what I can give you in business. I'm looking to take money off you, not give it to you," which was the truth. And later on, they all said, "Look, it's not about that. It's about how we can all work together and help each other." It's an amazing thing.
Yeah, it is. And look, there's a lot of, there's nearly a charity in every chapter, and it's just about helping out on all levels, isn't it? It's not necessarily passing the plate, so to speak. It's being able to help out on all levels. So how long now, this is going to be one of those new member podcasts. You could be the newest, but how long have you been in BNI?
I think it's about 6 weeks, and to be brutally honest, for two of them, I was out of the country, so so I've only seen the good things so far. But no, I'm amazed, and they made me get a sub and all that kind of stuff, which I didn't understand at the time, but I did it anyway. And it's just so it's 6 weeks, and I'm a newbie for sure, but I'm excited because I can see the potential.
Yeah, and look, it's great. And I was, were you at the awards breakfast the other week?
Oh, that's when I was overseas, and I was.
Oh, you're overseas. Anyway, I got all the new people to stand up that had only been in there under a year. Yeah, and there was a lot of people. So it is fantastic to see.
I was disappointed to miss it, I must admit.
Oh, yeah, no, it was all right. They tell me the host was rubbish. So, but apart from that, it was all right. How do you plan on, because I know you're new, how do you plan on using BNI to help enhance your networking and sort of gain referrals and interest in what you do?
Yeah, so what we were initially looking for out of the BNI, once I understood what it was about, was connections, and that long-term professional positive connections with businesses that had a community mind and wanted to help us as a charity to help as many people as we can. So we're looking for that fingering next, getting out to that BNI level plus the next level past BNI, where they may have some friends in business to come and help us support. So we that's how it started. And then once I got into the group at Platinum, we were desperately in need of somebody to help us with our social media, because that's the way of the world now.
Yeah.
And sitting across from me was a young lady doing social media. So and this is what I say. When I didn't think I was going to give referrals, this is what happened. So we hired her to help us with our organization. Then we needed a new logo. So there was another gentleman there. Am I allowed to mention names, or is it all right to mention names?
Oh, yeah, you can mention that.
So there was Abby Cadell, who does our socials. Absolutely. If anybody's watching this and in BNI and you want your socials taken care of, give Abby a call at Platinum. She is an amazing human being. Then there was Graham Smythe, which I'm assuming you may know. We hired him to do our logo, to make it more a professional logo. There was an electrician there, David. We've asked him to look at our shops and put some PowerPoints in. There was Alistair. He does pest control, so he's now doing the pest control for our stores. It was Luke, who does finance, so we've now looked at an overdraft through Luke. So out of that group of 18, I think we've hired about 5 or 6 of them. So the referrals came in the end, which was good.
That's fantastic. So I guess that sort of falls into, like, I know you're only been in a little time, but, we talk about any success stories that have stood out for you in BNI, but,
Mm.
I guess that can sort of, it's part of your success in it already, isn't it? You found all these people to help you out and get you down the path.
Yeah, and we're excited because we know them personally and we get to see them all the time. So it wasn't just this, you ad hoc tried somebody, looked up the reviews and see how it goes, because we have had some people helping in those industries before, and it has been an absolute disaster financially and the outcome. So
Yeah.
what we've seen from the people at BNI is they are really into making sure they get it right, making sure they help you in the best way, and it's gone forward from there. So we're very happy with that.
And most of the time, unless people are really, really new, but most of the time you can find someone that's used that person's
Yes.
services.
Yeah.
And and I'm not sure about the digital marketing lady that you're talking
Mm.
about, but I
Mm.
know Graham's been around in BNI for ages, right? So, I mean,
Yeah,
if he wasn't any good at what he does, he wouldn't be in there, you
for
know what I mean?
sure. Yeah, 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 yeah.
So it's good. It is good for new people. And look, I did the same when I first joined. I spent the first 12 months using people's services out of it, solving my problems before I even worried about earning anything out of it myself.
Yeah, yeah,
Because all of a sudden, rather than just flipping through Google and hoping someone turns up or hoping someone does this for you,
yeah,
all these people that have been tried and tested are right in front of you. So,
exactly. Yeah, yeah. And I was excited about that because I figured if they're in this room and everybody treats them really well and is happy to and says, look, try him, he's great, then that's
mm.
all I needed, and that's what I was looking for, which was amazing.
But it also allows you to get on with what you do best, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Rather than you sitting there pouring through who's going to do this, who's going to do that,
yeah,
you get
yeah,
it done on a Wednesday morning whenever you meet, and
yeah.
you put it to bed and get on with looking after people, which is what you're there to do, right?
Yeah, well, the social media side of it alone, we were doing it ourselves, but we kind of plateaued. We couldn't go any further. I mean, I'm old. Let's be honest, and it's not my forte, but we did the best we could. But the minute a young person like Abby Cadell took over, you could see the difference in what was happening in the social medias and getting us out there and getting people on board and all those kind of things. So it's just something that we can now not focus on. She's taking care of it, and that's all we needed. And we are the kind of charity that if we can do it ourselves, the four directors, we will,
Yeah.
to save costs, because we figured if we've got to hire somebody to do something that as a full-time employee, for argument's sake, that's 70,000 a year. And that's a lot of people we could help if and Abby's pricing was so keen, we just couldn't say no. So
Yeah, no, good on it. Oh, well done. Good shout out to those guys. So I know that your journey has been short,
mm.
but that said, what advice would you give to anyone that's listening to this podcast that might be in a similar situation, have just joined?
Yeah, I think mainly, like from my perspective, I came in not knowing what to expect. And I think if you're willing to come in and really have a look at that solid professional long-term connections that you're going to build, that would be it not the BNI factor for me not only elevated my professional point of view with regard to interactions with other businesses, it elevated me as a manager as well, or as an owner of a company, in the fact that it taught me it's better to be out there with a lot of people, everybody on board and trying to help, than just trying to muff through yourself. So the BNI connection and network, and it's almost like a family. In the short term I've been there, has
Yeah,
been all encompassing, and it's given us a new lease on our vitality to get into the business, because we can see solutions now based on the people we're meeting that we didn't have before. It was something that so to back up a little bit, I'm sorry to take up so much time, Tony.
no, no, yeah, no, no, it's all
To
good.
back up a little bit, we went in looking for networks so we could get a network of organizations and businesses to help us, right? Financially, we want something from them.
Yeah,
How do you do that? You cold call, you knock on people's doors, you send out emails, you send out letters, and the return rate from that is very low.
yeah,
But an organization, and this goes to any business, you might be in, for argument's sake, you might be a car mechanic, and you want to know, how can I get more business? How am I going to get more business? When you join BNI, the referral rate is exceptionally high. Like, I watch the Facebook page of our Platinum go off 3 or 4 or 5 times a day.
yeah,
Here's a reference for you. Here's a referral for you. Blah blah. It's that, plus that all encompassing. You've got people to speak to that are going through a business sense. So you got people to speak to and get that energy from them, and how they resolve this issue, how did they fix that issue, and all those kind of things. So it's been an overall positive experience for me. I wasn't sure whether it was a business club, a cult, or you know what I mean. Like, I didn't know anything about BNI.
Yeah.
But it's been an overall. I look forward to going to the meetings. That's what I'm going to say.
No,
First time in my life.
yeah. No, look, that's good. Yeah, no, I tell people it's a cult all the time. Just happens to be one with 230 members that pass $17 million worth of work between each other
Yeah,
every 12 months.
yeah. You can,
So
how can you not want to be part of that?
I would join a cult like that every day of the week.
Yeah, yeah. But when you see the figures that the BNI has been able to achieve, even in our chapter and the other chapters on the coast, I mean, how can you not want to be part of that? And from a business perspective, want to get some of that. It's just
Oh,
amazing.
yeah. If unless you saw it with your own two eyes, like if I didn't, like I was like you, I didn't really know about BNI before I went in. But
Mm.
if someone said to me, 200, well, 239 people, I think at the moment,
Yeah.
past $17 million
Yes.
between them, you'd be
You would have
like,
said, yeah, sure,
where,
mate.
where do they do? Where does this happen? Like on the coast, I'm like, yeah,
Yeah.
mate. Every
Just from
Tuesday,
this,
Wednesday,
just from this
Thursday, and
small
sometimes
area.
on a
Yeah.
Friday.
Yeah. No, I agree with you 100%. It's just amazing to watch. And their enthusiasm for helping each other outstrips anything else. Like they really want to give something back, which is
Yeah, correct.
amazing. Mm.
Why do you start visiting a few other chapters? It'll go to the next level for you.
Well, the very first
Next
time I
step,
tried to do that, they had a closed meeting. So,
right?
because of the new leadership change, which is
Yeah,
understandable.
leadership change at the
So I was
moment.
going to go to Northern Lights, and they said, "Look, we're terribly sorry, we're having a closed meeting. We have to." So I'm going. I'm going to try and visit as many as I can, just to see how it all goes, because I understand that each chapter probably runs a little bit differently.
Yeah, they've
So
all
I just
got
want to
different.
see a spread of different chapters, and maybe
Yeah,
put my finger in the pie. And I
that's it.
understand that some of them already have a charity, which is okay. We're not looking to take anything away from anybody.
Yeah, but look, I mean, I say to people, don't worry. Even if you're an electrician, there's another electrician or accountant, whatever. Don't
Mm,
let it worry you. Go and
mm,
meet other people.
mm.
And it just broadens your horizons. You never know who could be in that chapter that you don't have in yours that can help you.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So look, I
And I
think
think with the charities too, there's such a broad range of types of charities. Like we do a specific thing. The other charities may be doing their specific thing. Like we're not trying to clash with them in the services we provide.
no.
We're all just trying to do our bit to help. And yeah, that's where it is.
Yeah, there's as I said, there's a few charities in there, and Ashton and Murray and guys like that. I'm sure we'll get on famously with them, and they're super nice guys. And I guess charities probably got stories to swap at a business level as
Oh,
well.
for sure.
I'm
Some of
sure
them
it's
might
just
even
like
be
any
good
other
stories.
business. You've got your stories and your problems to solve. So, hey, that's good. So, look, talking about business, what's next for Aus Living?
We are about to launch our Stay Safe 50 program, which is kind of been in the works and has been soft launched, but we're trying to do a hard launch now over the next few weeks, where we're asking businesses to provide $50 a week towards housing. And what that means is if we get 4 businesses together, that's a family housed. That's the maximum we need to house a family for a week.
So how much is that a week you need? $200 a week.
Well, $50 from each. We're looking for $50 from each business, and 4
Yeah,
businesses then would allow us to house a family for a week. So if
yeah,
we
right.
get 4 businesses putting $50, I mean, they can put less in if they need to. They can put
Yeah,
more in, whichever they want. We just found that over the years, we've found that $50 was the most popular with businesses because it wasn't too outstretched. And we're hoping now with all these kicks everybody's getting with the interest rates and we're not outpricing ourselves, but $50 a week from each business, that's what we're looking for. And that helps us provide a family with a home for a week, and we just move on from there. So that's what we're doing. Is doing the Stay Safe 50 program will be hard launched soon, and I'm assuming I'm going to try and visit every BNI chapter to hand out a brochure on it. And we're
yeah,
looking
sure.
for if you've got a friend that's in business, and you can get them together as well. And the other thing we're doing is we've just started to launch. And that'll be about July, where we're doing Kindness in the Basket, which is a basket of essentials for the domestic violence people that have had to leave their home.
Yeah,
So we're getting people to help with those as well. So, but mainly right now, the Stay Safe 50 is our hit. That's what we're looking for to try and launch. And $50 doesn't seem like a lot of money to some people because we're getting a lot of people want to get on board already.
yeah.
It seems like a small amount to help completely change the lives of a family, and especially a family that has done it exceptionally tough.
Mm. No, no, fantastic idea. Okay, well, look, I look forward to seeing that.
Mhm.
Hand it around, and yeah, when you get it up and running, we'll have to get you back on and talk a bit more about it.
Oh, that'd be amazing. Thank you, mate.
What's the one core value of BNI in this early phase of your,
Yeah, I think
I don't
that's
know what you call it to it?
yeah. I think all of them. Anybody that's in business can look at all of those core values and say, look, they all hit hard. They all have a specific part in what you're trying to achieve. But right now, for me, it would be the connections, the building long-term professional and personal connections through the BNI. And I think that will probably change over time as I get those connections fulfilled and then look at other things. But right now, that's my priority. And it hits home for me because that's what we're trying to do. So that one thing was the core value of why we entered BNI.
Yeah.
But as I say, they all stand out. When you read them all, you think, oh, yeah, that's me. Oh, no, that one's me. Oh, no, you just keep
Yeah.
the list. Yeah.
Yeah. It keeps, it keeps coming. Yeah. You could pick anyone, couldn't you? So, but
Yeah.
no, look, well done. How can we find out more about Aus Living Support? I've got the website up here. It looks very flash. Nice
Yeah.
new work,
Yeah,
Graham.
yeah, that's being overhauled by Graham Smythe, by the way. So if
Yeah,
it
good.
looks terrible in 2 weeks' time, you know who to blame. He,
That looks
yeah.
fantastic.
So the website's probably the easiest. It's auslivingsupport.org.au.
Yeah.
If any businesses are watching this from BNI, they're more than welcome to call me direct on 0427266096. I'd like to give you my email address, but it's like 13 million letters long. But it is Ian. It is Ian.Harrison at auslivingsupport.org.au. So auslivingsupport.org.au. I'm happy to talk to anybody about our programs. Happy to talk to anybody that wishes to maybe look at ways they can help. And yeah, it'd be an amazing thing if we could get some calls. That'd be fantastic.
Yeah, no, that'd be good. Have you got your BNI profile up to date on BNI Connect?
I think I have. Yeah, they set me up. Well, I even end up with a badge, so I must be official now.
Yeah, well, it's a good way for people to connect, on BNI app. But I'm
Yeah.
sure they'll go through you with that over the next couple of weeks. And
Oh, I'd love to see that.
yeah,
Yeah, and yeah, we're excited to be part of BNI. We're excited to meet everybody in it, and yeah, we're looking forward to moving forward with our organisation, and we're hoping that BNI can become a core component of helping the community on the local Sunshine Coast. And that's the other thing I must mention. Our services, because we are local, only goes from Gympie to Caloundra. All the money that we raise stays within those boundaries, so that obviously Aura is part of it now, but
yeah,
within the boundaries. So everything you give to Aus Living Sport stays on the Sunshine Coast, which is an amazing thing.
nah, fantastic. Well, Ian, it's been fantastic to have you on.
Thank you.
I'm so excited talking to you because you've the enthusiasm and you're having a great experience with BNI. So it's
Mhm.
fantastic and you're really making the most out of it. I look forward to seeing you around
Yep.
and yeah, get on the after Easter, get on the train and go around and visit all the chapters for sure.
Sounds like a plan. Thanks for
If
having me
not,
on, Tony. I really do appreciate it. Eh?
no worries. If not, people can come down to Platinum and see you. What
Yeah,
what
yeah.
what time's your meetings on? Just tell everyone.
6:45 a.m. Thursdays. Yeah.
6:45 Thursdays. Yeah. Yep. All right. No worries at all. Well, thanks very much, mate. All the best.